From the 28-yard line of Auburn. Bama going left to right. Bryce gets the snap, knee high. Looks, throws the fade route, near side end zone. Got it! Caught! Touchdown, Alabama! Caught by Ja'Cory Brooks in the end zone.
And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game! Auburn's going to win the football game!
And Alabama has come from nowhere to defeat the Auburn Tigers in multiple overtimes.
Things are getting back to normal here on Head to Head. Welcome to the best part of this show, the head-to-head matchup between me and Chance, our picks. He finally did win last week. Things got back to normal, but both 4-3 and 5-2.
This actually is the best part of the show, not the other show parts where he actually says this is the best every time. This is the best part.
It's the best group part of the show. We're two of us involved. I go 5-2 last week, 34-20-2 on the year, 63%. What incredible for Burgin. Chance, you keep bumping your numbers up. 23-30-2, 44%, 4-3 last week. I go 5-2. I mean, you can go 5-2 any week. You can go 4-3. It's a good week.
It would have been 6-1 if my NFL teams could have handled it.
But again, yeah, if you're 5-2 and Washington wins, like I said, the G-Wagon's sitting outside right now. So, but like I said, it's going to be a lot more basketball this week. Obviously, football games are coming to an end. But again, with the SEC being the best conference maybe ever all time, it's going to make for a fun head-to-head because there's so many good games. We'll start off with our head-to-head, me versus you. Florida at Tennessee this weekend. Gators have bounced back, won a couple games in a row. Tennessee have now lost. They lost last night
They did.
to Kentucky.
They lost me in.
They lost to Auburn this past weekend. Are they going to lose 3 in a row to Florida, or are they going to bounce back and finally get a win at home?
I'm going to look at these numbers right here, and I'm going to go Tennessee by 69.4%.
I'm going to go with the Gators. I think the Gators are the better team. I think Tennessee is dropping quick. I see them as a lower-end top 25 team, not a top 10 team. I think Florida is a top 5 team. I think the Gators played their best game of the year. I like Florida to win the game.
Best game of the year, and they won't play a good game the next game because that would be Auburn.
No, that'll be the 2 games for them. So yes, yeah, that'll be our. So we'll have a Super Bowl preview and the Auburn-Florida game, which is probably the biggest game. $500 tickets right now, pre-sale average for Auburn versus Florida next Saturday. I'm sure game day will be there.
Which that's only going to go up.
Yes.
I bet it gets to about $1,000. That's my prediction.
I think you're very true. All right, other pick'em game will go against each other will be the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl has it's slowly been the decline. Last year bumped back up. They play flag football. Me and you, of course, enjoyed that because we love flag.
And you saw some of the players actually enjoyed it more because they got to have fun with it, throwing a bunch of laterals, stuff.
Yeah. Eli and Peyton are the coaches again.
Let's look at this.
NFC versus AFC. Obviously, AFC roster's loaded. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow's their quarterbacks. NFC, Jared Goff.
Oof. NFC's won it 3 years.
AFC's won it 2 years in a row.
3 years of 5, and NFC's won it 2 years in a row.
Last year, 64-59. So if there's an over, you may want to take that. But I think it is more fun with a flag football game. But I think with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and the Bengals kind of team, I think that I like them to win. Obviously, you still have Josh Allen. I wonder if he'll play after last week. I think he should. And then Lamar Jackson. I can't wait to see Lamar in flag. Seeing how that goes. I don't know if the quarterback can run, but I'm going with the AFC. I think
they better let the quarterback run in this flag.
Yes, I think they did. So we'll see. But I like the AFC to win the Pro Bowl, and they're going to do a lot more skills competitions this year.
Which they should. They should bring back that quarterback skill challenge.
Remember the quarterback long throw? I used to love that thing.
I can understand 2 parts of this kind of debate. But for quarterbacks that don't want to have an accident where they throw one bad pass and then that affects their draft status, I can understand that to a certain point. But then you look at all the ones who did it before. Brady, he didn't even win top 5 in the longest throw his year. Was he the best quarterback after? Yeah. So I think teams will understand this is a game. Yeah. And it's more about competitive nature and to show how you act in this.
Well, you saw the accuracy ones with the things going across.
That's incredible. I love those.
Yeah.
What was his name? It showed doing it. Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Showed him crushing it. He was hitting bullseyes all across.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, a couple guys. Yeah, that'll be fun to see that. Again, I like seeing guys. I like seeing the races and all that stuff. I wish Tyreek Hill would have actually ran fast that one year they did that. But I think the Pro Bowl is getting, NFL, no offense, we haven't talked about the NBA. I think it's because football has been so good. And maybe we'll get
NBA's in G League right now. So.
Yeah, but you say it's the G League, but they're still playing professional basketball. LeBron and Steph Curry are still playing. The NBA with the ratings has gone so much down, but we haven't really picked any games.
Very true.
We haven't talked about it. College basketball is maybe the biggest it's been in a long time, especially in the South.
And I guess part of that is NBA is not the same game even as it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They were the Splash Brothers back then, but now every team's trying to shoot threes, and their percentages are not even close
Well,
to
it's
that.
either dunks or threes in the NBA. And again, it's just not the passion that you get on college campuses.
Yeah.
And they've added the in-season tournament and things like that to really bump but the ratings have shot down. LeBron and Steph are getting old. Who are going to be the new stars? Like I think this is a huge transition for the NBA, and it just shows right there. I texted somebody last night. I'm like, I don't think I've watched an NBA game from start to finish this whole year.
Yeah, no, I've had them on my TV, but not something I've actually paid attention to.
But I remember a couple of years ago, like when LeBron was playing for the Heat and the Pierce and all them, we would watch almost every game they play. I mean, it was a fun thing to watch. There's not
That was also two teams we cared about.
Yeah.
I cared about Celtics, obviously, and you were caring about the Heat and everything else. But now the only top dominant teams aren't even top dominant teams. They're just great because of 1 to 2 players like Luka making the Mavericks great.
Yeah.
There's very few.
So is it the lack of new stars? Is it just the season's too long?
Maybe it's the lack
you're a
of,
non-basketball guy. Why do you not watch the NBA?
So baseball and basketball are the two sports I really don't watch on TV because they're almost year round.
Yeah.
And the games for baseball take too long. They've shortened that in certain aspects.
They have.
For basketball, it's more of after the run of the Celtics with Ray Allen and all them and Paul Pierce and Garnett, and I just kind of...
I mean, they just won the championship last year. I know
did,
you watched some games.
I paid attention to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I did not pay attention throughout the season.
And again, that's what my point is. Playoff basketball, I'll watch. I will not watch regular season basketball. I'm sorry. They have to. I saw a stat last night, and we could probably throw it up here. Joel Embiid, I'm send Eric that. He has played 402 games and missed 400 games.
Oh my goodness!
But could you imagine taking Journey or me taking the boys to a basketball game to see a player like a Caitlin Clark
and you never know they're going to play,
and they're not even going to play?
Yeah.
You travel all this time and pay all this money. That's what I think of the NBA. Jordan played every game when he played.
And there were games we went to about teams we didn't even care about. Remember that trip, you, me, and all of us?
Yeah, we went to saw the Bulls and the Hawks play.
The Bulls and the Hawks. Two teams we could care nothing about, but we were there for it. And we saw Pippen there.
Derrick Rose played, all that stuff. Yeah,
so you can still have a good time at these games, but I think that's the point is you've got to be there for it. I don't think
But not just that, but the players got to play. These sitting out, like this is what you're paid to do. So, sorry about going on that tangent, but it's just the playoffs. The Pro Bowl had me thinking about how much we don't talk about the NBA, and we eventually will once the playoffs start. But man, they got to fix something. So, all right, let's get to college basketball, which is amazing this year. Kentucky hosting Arkansas. Calipari goes back to Kentucky where he just left. Who you like?
I think we're going to have very similar scores again this week, with our records being just one game off above from last week. I think I'm going to go with Kentucky on here just out of consistency. I just don't think Arkansas is going to have what it takes to beat Kentucky at home.
Yeah, Kentucky just beat Tennessee last night at Tennessee. I think they come home, and I think they crush Arkansas. I think they say, Cal, you're gone. We don't care about you. We're a better team without you. Kentucky. All right, Georgia at Alabama. This was a top 25 matchup when we plugged it in last week. Georgia's now on this big losing streak. Bama looks to be another big-time contender, which everybody expected this year. I like Alabama at home.
I'm going to go with Alabama on this one, too. Georgia's been a good team, but I don't see them bringing the upset to what's Tuscaloosa's Coliseum called?
Coleman Coliseum.
Coleman Coliseum. I don't see them bringing that upset there, especially with Alabama's fans that are going to be there. That's going to be a wild stadium, or Coliseum.
All right, these next two are probably the two best games in the SEC outside of Florida, Tennessee. Missouri at Mississippi State. Missouri's on fire. Mississippi State's quietly been a great team this year. I like Missouri on the road.
I think Mizzou keeps their trend going, and they just keep winning. So let's
actually, you know what? I'm changing I'm going with Mississippi State.
Look at you changing it mid-show.
I'm going to change it to Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State beats Auburn. Beats Alabama. beats Alabama tonight.
Okay.
Even though I want Alabama to win, I think Mississippi State beats Alabama, and then they beat Missouri. I think this is the biggest week in Mississippi State basketball. I think they win both games.
I will give you that. If Mississippi State beats Alabama tonight, they will beat Missouri. But I do see them having. If I do see if Bama wins, Mississippi State coming down for another off week.
They're actually favored. I just think Bama's due to have a bad game. I think it comes tonight. It's not going to be too big of a loss, but I think Mississippi State sneaks up on them tonight. But I got Bama beating Georgia. But yeah, I think Mississippi State goes 2-0 this week. Changing my play on that. Auburn goes to Ole Miss. Auburn's been due to lose one of these games, and they keep squeaking by.
Don't you speak that evil on me.
Yeah. Ole Miss wins against Auburn. That's my pick that's changed against yours. I think the Rebels upset Auburn at home. Number 1 goes down.
Blasphemy. That's all I'm going to say. War Eagle.
Duke, North Carolina.
North Carolina couldn't win for me the other night.
I had to throw it in there. This used to be the biggest game ever in sports.
It used to be the game that you see in the March Madness matchup. That was pretty much every year.
Duke's holding up their end of the bargain. North Carolina is not this year, even with their senior best player coming back. North Carolina loses again this week. Duke may go undefeated in ACC of how bad they are.
They really might, actually. But give North Carolina this year off, now that they've got Belichick coming in for football, if he even gets here for a full year, that will help recruiting in basketball as well. And I think North Carolina's going to bounce back. But for whatever reason, they just can't get it together this year.
No, they can't.
I don't know.
So we both like Duke at home. So that'll be our picks. I changed Mississippi State, so we won't be as close. I didn't like you saying that. I want to dominate you. I don't just want to beat you. I want to dominate you.
And this is how betting goes. Whatever I want, I'm going to lose, and he's going to win. And this literally changed the whole plateau for Mizzou. He caused Mizzou to lose their record now because I'm going to bet on them.
Yeah.
He's not.
And I will say, I saw usually every time I see a cat streaking across, it's usually a black cat. I saw one streaking across the church this week taking a car to basketball, and it was not a black cat. It had white paws. I'm like, that's good luck right there. My luck is it's always a black cat. It's not. So I think I'm going to go undefeated this week. I'm calling it right here.
I like the black cats. So what do you know?
Even with the Pro Bowl, I don't even know much about who's playing. I'm calling 7-0.
NFC because that's where Washington's from.
Yes. 7-0 this weekend for me. So, all right, picks are in. Good luck to you. Titan Tigers. Hey, Super Bowl preview next week. Can't wait for it. Hey, I think 10 plays. 10 plays next week. 10 player prop bets or whatever we can do. We're going to do 10 plays that we're going to pick on.
Let's do it.
And you come up with 5 and I'll come up with 5.
Okay. 5 different ones each.
5 different ones each.
Okay.
So it could be Gatorade. It could be the coin toss.
Which the coin toss is split evenly. They're both negative 105 right now. There's no fun in that. I don't even want to bet on that.
So we'll do 5 each next week plus the game pick, and it'll be an awesome preview for Super Bowl.
The singing of the national anthem.
Don't give me away your picks yet. We'll have to coagulate and see who has what. Super Bowl preview next week. Make sure you tune in. Make sure to follow the picks. 60-something% right here. I'd follow those picks if I was somebody.
Trying to get up to 50% right here.
You're still a loser. Titan Tigers.